The Galactic Council's assembly chamber, a marvel of architecture spanning a kilometer in diameter, buzzed with the tension of 1,000 whispered conversations. At its center, elevated on a platform designed to be seen by all, stood a human, Ambassador Elena Morales. She represented Earth, a planet known for its lush blues and greens, and now its unprecedented defiance. The chamber, a testament to the Council's reach, housed representatives from across the galaxy. Each species brought with it a distinct presence, from the feathered serenity of the aviarians to the mechanical precision of the Technar. Today they gathered not for routine diplomacy, but to address a matter that had shaken the foundations of the Galactic Union. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," began the presider, a being from the ancient and revered race of the Zelthorians, known for their impartiality. "We stand at a crossroads in our history. The actions of humanity during the Skrill invasion have brought us to a dilemma that threatens the peace we have so diligently maintained." A hush fell over the chamber as the gravity of the situation sank in. The Skrill invasion had been a watershed moment for the galaxy. The Skrills, a species of unmatched aggression, had sought to expand their empire into the territories of the Galactic Union. They had not anticipated the ferocity of humanity's resistance. "Humanity's response to the Skrill threat," the presider continued, "while commendable for its effectiveness, has revealed a capacity for warfare that is unsettling. Their innovative tactics, their refusal to surrender even in the face of overwhelming odds, and their ability to turn their very planet into a fortress have led to a victory that, while celebrated, has caused great concern among us." Elena Morales stood stoic, her face betraying none of the turmoil that roiled within her. She had prepared for many outcomes, but this was beyond what she had imagined. "It is the decision of this council," the presider announced, "that humanity be henceforth banned from participating in any form of interstellar conflict. This ban extends to military support, including the provision of arms, strategic planning, and logistical aid. Humanity's involvement in galactic warfare shall cease, effective immediately, under penalty of species-wide sanctions." A mix of reactions rippled through the assembly. Some nodded in solemn agreement, believing the decision wise to preserve the fragile balance of power. Others, particularly those who had been close allies of Earth during the invasion, seemed unsettled, if not outright opposed. Elena's voice, when it finally broke the silence, carried a calm strength that belied the emotional weight of her words. "This council prides itself on fairness, on the celebration of diversity and the unified pursuit of peace. Yet today, it seeks to isolate and punish those who have only acted in defense of their home, their people. We accept your decree, but know this: humanity will continue to seek peace, with or without the Council's approval." As the session adjourned, a new chapter in the annals of galactic history was written. Earth, the blue-green jewel of the Sol system, stood at the precipice of isolation. The decree, intended to curb the potential for destruction, unwittingly acknowledged humanity's prowess in the art of war. But more importantly, it sparked a determination within the hearts of humans. If the galaxy would not have them as allies in war, they would become its silent guardians, protecting peace from the shadows. Thus began the tale of humanity's banishment from the theaters of galactic conflict, a decision that would reshape the fate of the universe in ways the Council could not foresee. The Skrill invasion, a name that evoked fear and awe across the cosmos, became the turning point not just for Earth, but for the entire Galactic Union. The Skrills, a species whose very culture was rooted in conquest and subjugation, had cast their eyes upon Earth with the intent of expanding their dominion. What they encountered, however, was a resilience that would become legendary. The Earth, with its diverse nations and peoples, had long been a planet of strife and conflict. Yet, when faced with an external existential threat, humanity united in a display of solidarity that was unprecedented. This unity, forged in the crucible of alien aggression, turned Earth into an impenetrable bastion, one that the Skrills could not overcome. Ambassador Elena Morales, reflecting on those dark times, remembered the desperation and the determination. Human ingenuity, which had always been directed inward in petty conflicts, was now unleashed against a common foe. Technologies were repurposed, strategies redesigned, and every man, woman, and child became part of a global resistance. The humans did not win through brute force. They couldn't. The Skrill technology was superior in almost every aspect, from their devastating plasma weapons to their near-impenetrable shields. Instead, humanity won through guerrilla tactics, through the element of surprise, and through exploiting the Skrill's overconfidence. Homemade drones laden with explosives became a symbol of the resistance. Networks of underground bunkers and tunnels, remnants of past wars, provided shelter and a means to move unseen. The very geography of Earth, with its vast oceans, dense forests, and rugged mountains, became a weapon in the hands of those who knew it best. One particular event stood out, a turning point in the conflict that had become emblematic of human defiance. The Battle of Golan Heights, where a single human battalion, outnumbered and outgunned, held off a Skrill division long enough for a civilian evacuation to complete. They used the terrain to their advantage, striking from the shadows and disappearing before the Skrills could retaliate. It was a Pyrrhic victory, but it sent a clear message. Earth would not yield. The Skrills, unable to secure a foothold and suffering losses that their command structure had deemed unacceptable, eventually withdrew. They left behind a planet scarred by battle, but united like never before. Humanity had proven not only to themselves but to the galaxy at large that they were a force to be reckoned with. This unity and the innovative tactics displayed during the invasion caught the attention of the Galactic Council. The victory was celebrated, yes, but it was also a cause for concern. If humanity could repel the Skrills, what else were they capable of? The discussions that followed were fraught with tension, leading to the decision that would change humanity's place in the cosmos forever. The banishment decree was not just a reaction to the victory over the Skrills. It was an acknowledgement of potential that the Council found too dangerous to ignore. Humanity's capacity for war, it seemed, was boundless. And in the delicate tapestry of galactic peace, there was no room for such unpredictability. In the wake of humanity's unexpected triumph over the Skrill invasion, the Galactic Council found itself grappling with a profound unease. The Assembly, a collective of the galaxy's most advanced and diverse civilizations, had always navigated the treacherous waters of interstellar politics with a focus on diplomacy and mutual benefit. Yet, the human display of guerrilla warfare, resilience, and tactical genius against the Skrills introduced a variable that the Council was ill-prepared to assimilate. The Skrills had been a known threat for centuries, their appetite for conquest and subjugation well documented. But the Council's strategies against them had always been reactionary, a series of stopgap measures and temporary alliances designed to halt their advance rather than defeat them outright. Humanity's success where others had failed or not dared to try stirred a deep-seated apprehension among the Council members. The fear was not of humanity itself, but of the potential disruption their actions represented. If a single, relatively young species could defy the odds and repel a force as formidable as the Skrills, what did that say about the power dynamics that had governed the galaxy for millennia? The Council's mandate was to maintain peace and order, but peace had always been a delicate balance, one that humanity's actions threatened to upset. Conversations within the Council's chambers, once dominated by trade negotiations and treaties, shifted towards debates on military capability and the doctrine of preemptive defense. The question at the heart of these discussions was simple, yet impossible to ignore. If humanity could innovate and adapt at such a remarkable pace under the pressure of an existential threat, what might they achieve if they turned their sights on expansion? Or, more pertinently, what if their methods of warfare were adopted by less scrupulous species? The Council's fear was not unfounded. Historical precedents within the Galactic Union showed that shifts in military power often preceded periods of instability and conflict. The introduction of a new, unpredictable player on the scene, especially one as resourceful as humanity, could very well catalyze a chain reaction of arms races and territorial disputes. Moreover, the Council had to consider the psychological impact of humanity's victory. Across the galaxy, oppressed or marginalized species might see in humans a beacon of hope or a model to emulate. Such sentiments, while noble, could lead to widespread unrest and challenge the Council's authority. In closed sessions, away from the prying eyes of the public and the media, the Council deliberated on a course of action. The decision to ban humans from participating in interstellar conflict was not made lightly. It was a calculated move, designed to preserve the status quo and prevent humanity from becoming a catalyst for change that the galaxy was not ready to embrace. Yet, even as the decree was passed, some within the Council questioned its wisdom. Was isolating humanity truly the best way to harness their potential for the greater good? Or would it simply alienate a powerful ally? These doubts, though voiced in hushed tones, hinted at the complexity of the Council's decision. The banishment was a testament to humanity's prowess in warfare, but it also reflected the Council's own vulnerabilities. its inability to fully integrate such a dynamic and unpredictable species into the galactic fold. The decree would reverberate across the stars, setting the stage for a new era of galactic politics where fear and admiration for humanity coexisted in a delicate, uncertain balance. Back on Earth, news of the Galactic Council's decree arrived like a shockwave, resonating through the halls of government and the streets of cities across the planet. Humanity's collective response was a maelstrom of emotions: pride in their resilience and ingenuity, confusion at the galactic community's fear, and outrage at the notion of being sidelined after their hard-fought victory. The global reaction was immediate. Emergency sessions of the United Nations were convened, with leaders and representatives from every nation on Earth coming together to deliberate over this unprecedented situation. The public's eyes were glued to screens, awaiting updates. Protests erupted in major cities, not in defiance of their own governments, but in solidarity against what many viewed as an unjust galactic sanction. Amidst the turmoil, Ambassador Elena Morales stood as a beacon of calm determination. Having delivered Earth's response to the Council's decree, she returned home to a world unsure of its place in the cosmos. In a globally broadcast address, she spoke not just to the people of Earth, but to the galaxy at large. "We stand at the threshold of a new chapter in human history," Morales began, her voice steady and clear. "The Galactic Council has deemed us too unpredictable, too formidable, to participate in interstellar conflict. In their eyes, our defense against the Skrill invasion was not a testament to our right to exist and thrive, but a warning sign of potential chaos to come." Her words struck a chord with many, echoing the sentiments of billions. "But let us not see this decree as a punishment," she continued. "Instead, let it be a reminder of our strength, our ingenuity, and our indomitable spirit. We have faced extinction and emerged victorious. We have proven that together there is no challenge too great, no enemy too powerful." The message was clear. Earth might be isolated from the galactic stage, but it would not be diminished. Morales outlined a vision for the future, one where humanity would focus on its own advancement, sustainability, and protection. "If the galaxy will not have us as equals in conflict, we will be guardians of our own peace. We will continue to explore, to reach out to those who wish to share in knowledge and friendship, and we will always be ready to defend our home." Behind the scenes, however, there was a growing realization that Earth's isolation could not be absolute. Contacts with sympathetic species continued in secret, and a clandestine network began to form, aimed at ensuring Earth's security and interests in a galaxy that now viewed them with a mix of fear and respect. The decree had inadvertently galvanized humanity's resolve. From the highest levels of government to grassroots movements, a new consensus emerged. Earth would navigate this imposed solitude with dignity and purpose. The development of technology surged, driven by a desire to protect the planet and to one day, perhaps, change the Council's mind. In the years that followed, Earth's isolation became a crucible for innovation. Technologies that had once been the realm of science fiction began to take shape, from advanced propulsion systems that could one day take humanity beyond the galaxy to breakthroughs in energy, medicine, and AI. But perhaps the most significant development was the establishment of the Shadow Corps, a highly trained, elite force tasked with operating in the gray areas of galactic law. Officially, their mission was to protect Earth from extraterrestrial threats. Unofficially, they were Earth's eyes and ears in the galaxy, a secret vanguard for a planet that refused to be left in the dark. As Earth adapted to its new reality, the Galactic Council watched with wary interest. The decree had been intended to contain humanity's potential for disruption. Instead, it seemed to have sparked a renaissance on Earth, one that could not be ignored forever. The stage was set for a future where humanity would not simply accept its exile. Instead, they would redefine what it meant to be a part of the galactic community, on their own terms. In the aftermath of Earth's diplomatic isolation, a silent consensus emerged among humanity's leaders. If they were to be excluded from the galaxy's military affairs, they would instead operate from the shadows. Thus was born the Shadow Corps, a highly specialized unit tasked with safeguarding Earth's interest beyond the scrutiny of the Galactic Council. Comprised of the finest minds and bravest souls from across the globe, the Shadow Corps was a testament to humanity's resolve. These operatives, drawn from elite military units, intelligence agencies, and the scientific community, were trained to navigate the complexities of interstellar politics and warfare. Their mission was clear: to protect Earth and maintain peace, using whatever means necessary. The Shadow Corps operated under a veil of secrecy, their existence known only to a select few within Earth's governments. They were ghosts, rumors, whispers that circulated among the galactic underworld and the less savory corners of space. Their operations were deniable, their tactics unconventional, and their loyalty to Earth unshakable. Their first major operation was codenamed Aegis, after the mythical shield that protected the gods. The target was a rogue faction of the Kithar species, who had acquired a cache of biological weapons with the intent of releasing them on a rival planet. The ensuing pandemic would have destabilized the region, threatening millions of lives and potentially dragging the Galactic Council into a quagmire of conflict and retaliation. The Shadow Corps, leveraging a network of informants and utilizing advanced stealth technology, infiltrated the faction's stronghold on the moon of Zephyr. The operation was high risk. The Kithar were known for their keen senses and martial prowess. Detection would mean certain death. Led by Commander Sarah Nguyen, the team navigated the moon's treacherous terrain, avoiding patrols and automated defense systems. Using a combination of hacking and physical prowess, they breached the stronghold's outer defenses, making their way to the heart of the facility where the bioweapons were stored. The climax of the operation came when Nguyen and her team were discovered just as they were about to neutralize the bioweapons. A tense standoff ensued, with the team vastly outnumbered. Using a combination of diplomacy and deception, Nguyen convinced the faction leader that releasing the bioweapon would not bring the desired outcome, and that the Galactic Council's retaliation would be swift and devastating. In a moment of uncertainty for the faction leader, the Shadow Corps seized the opportunity to secure the bioweapons, destroying them on sight. The operation on Zephyr was a resounding success. The Shadow Corps had not only prevented a galactic catastrophe, but it also demonstrated Earth's continued commitment to peace and stability. Yet, the very nature of their existence posed a dilemma. Officially, Earth was banned from participating in galactic military actions. The activities of the Shadow Corps, while crucial for the safety of the galaxy, were in direct violation of the Council's decree. The Galactic Council, upon learning of the operation through clandestine channels, found themselves in a precarious position. Acknowledging the Shadow Corps' role would mean admitting Earth's clandestine involvement in galactic affairs. Ignoring it would undermine their authority, suggesting that the decree against humanity was a mistake. As the Council deliberated, the Shadow Corps continued their operations, becoming a symbol of Earth's silent guardianship. Their actions spoke louder than any diplomatic speech or decree. Humanity might have been excluded from the galactic stage, but they refused to stand by idly while the galaxy teetered on the brink of chaos. The Shadow Corps had begun their silent war, a war not of conquest, but of protection. They were the unseen shield against the darkness, a reminder to the galaxy that Earth, even in isolation, was a force for good. The Aegis incident, as it came to be known in the confidential archives of Earth's Global Defense Council and whispered in the hidden corners of the galaxy, marked a pivotal moment in the silent operations of the Shadow Corps. This covert operation not only demonstrated Earth's continued commitment to galactic peace and stability, but also highlighted the intricate balance between secrecy and influence that the Shadow Corps navigated. In the wake of the operation, the Galactic Council found itself in an unenviable position. Rumors of a mysterious force that had neutralized a catastrophic threat began to circulate among various species, sowing seeds of curiosity and speculation. These stories, veiled in the mystery of their origins, eventually reached the ears of some council members, who were torn between the desire to maintain the decree against humanity and the undeniable benefits of the Shadow Corps' actions. The Galactic Council's internal debates intensified. Some argued that the Earth's clandestine interventions were a clear violation of the decree, warranting further sanctions or even direct action to dismantle the Shadow Corps. Others, however, pointed out the pragmatic aspect of these interventions. The Shadow Corps was performing a vital service, one that aligned with the Council's own goals of maintaining peace and preventing conflict. The dilemma was further complicated by the fact that there was no official acknowledgement or evidence of the Shadow Corps' existence from Earth's governments. This plausible deniability allowed Earth to maintain its stance of compliance with the Council's decree, even as it acted to safeguard the galaxy in secret. Meanwhile, on Earth, the successful conclusion of the Aegis incident was celebrated in the most discreet manner within the circles of the Shadow Corps and the highest echelons of global leadership. Commander Sarah Nguyen and her team became legends in their own right, their deeds known only to a select few, but impacting countless lives across the galaxy. The incident also prompted a strategic reassessment of Earth's position in galactic affairs. Recognizing the potential for the Shadow Corps to serve as both a shield and a diplomatic tool, Earth's leaders began to consider how best to leverage the Corps' successes. They sought to subtly influence galactic opinion, to paint humanity not as a threat, but as a valuable ally in the quest for stability and peace. To this end, Earth increased its investments in intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance capabilities, both to support the Shadow Corps' missions and to gather actionable intelligence on the galaxy's political climate. This network of satellites, deep space drones, and cyber espionage tools allowed Earth to stay one step ahead, ensuring that the Shadow Corps could operate with the utmost efficiency and effectiveness. The Shadow Corps itself underwent a transformation. Its successes, particularly the Aegis incident, had proven the value of combining military prowess with diplomatic finesse. As such, its operatives received additional training in negotiation, cultural sensitivity, and nonviolent conflict resolution, equipping them to handle a broader range of missions. As the Galactic Council continued its deliberations, the Shadow Corps prepared for its next operation, aware that each success brought Earth closer to redefining its role in the galaxy. The Aegis incident had set a precedent, and now the Shadow Corps stood ready to defend the fragile peace of the cosmos, all while navigating the complex web of galactic politics and diplomacy. In the shadows of the galaxy's bright stars, Earth had found its new purpose. The Shadow Corps, operating from the darkness, illuminated humanity's resolve to protect and serve, not just their home planet, but the entire galactic community. The Galactic Council, a body designed to navigate the complexities of interstellar diplomacy and maintain peace across the stars, now faced a conundrum that threatened to unravel the very fabric of its authority. The success of the Shadow Corps' Aegis incident, while a victory for galactic peace, underscored a glaring issue. Earth, despite its official ban from military involvement, had become an indispensable guardian of stability. Whispers of the Shadow Corps' actions had permeated the Council's chambers, leading to heated debates among its members. The dilemma was multifaceted. Acknowledging the Shadow Corps' existence and its contributions could potentially validate Earth's defiance of the Council's decree. Conversely, to ignore Earth's covert operations risked the Council appearing ineffectual, or worse, oblivious to the galaxy's shifting dynamics. Some members of the Council, primarily those from species with historical grievances against the Skrills or other aggressive factions, quietly championed Earth's cause. They argued that the decree had been short-sighted, failing to anticipate the nuanced role Earth could play in the galaxy's security framework. Others, however, remained staunchly opposed, viewing the Shadow Corps' operations as a dangerous precedent that could embolden other civilizations to flout the Council's mandates. The discussions often circled back to a central question. Could the Galactic Council afford to maintain its ban on Earth's military engagement when the Shadow Corps had proven so effective in preserving peace? This question was further complicated by the reality that many of the Council's own peacekeeping initiatives had been mired in bureaucracy and inefficiency, a stark contrast to the decisive actions taken by the Shadow Corps. Amidst this political quagmire, an unexpected advocate for Earth's cause emerged. Ambassador Threxel from the Xanar Federation, a species known for their analytical prowess and diplomatic neutrality. Threxel proposed a bold, if controversial, solution. Rather than enforcing a blanket ban on Earth's military activities, the Council could establish a framework for oversight and cooperation, allowing Earth to contribute to galactic peace under strict conditions. Threxel's proposal, while met with skepticism, ignited a new round of discussions. The idea of a supervised integration of Earth's capabilities into the Council's peacekeeping efforts represented a potential middle ground, one that could leverage humanity's unique strengths while addressing the Council's concerns over sovereignty and order. The debates raged on, with each session of the Council bringing forth new arguments and counter-arguments. Some members suggested that the very nature of the Shadow Corps, its ability to operate effectively in secrecy, was itself a valuable asset that could be harnessed for the greater good. Others cautioned that any form of official collaboration with Earth could erode the Council's moral authority and encourage dissent among the less stable members of the galactic community. As the Council grappled with these issues, Earth continued to monitor the situation closely. The leaders of the Shadow Corps, while proud of their achievements, were acutely aware of the political tightrope they were walking. A misstep could lead to open confrontation with the Council, an outcome that would serve no one's interests. The tension between Earth and the Galactic Council highlighted a fundamental truth. In the vast, intricate tapestry of the cosmos, the lines between peacekeeper and warrior, between protector and rebel, were often blurred. The Council's dilemma was not just about Earth or the Shadow Core. It was about the evolving nature of power and responsibility in a galaxy teeming with diverse life forms and competing interests. As the Council's deliberations continued, the galaxy watched and waited, knowing that the outcome would shape the future of interstellar relations for generations to come. Earth, for its part, remained committed to its path, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity and its unwavering dedication to peace, justice, and the galactic common good. The uneasy peace that had lingered over the galaxy was shattered with the abruptness of a supernova when the Krell species launched a mutiny against the Galactic Council. Known for their martial prowess and strategic acumen, the Krells had long harbored grievances against what they perceived as the Council's overreach and favoritism towards certain member species. Their rebellion was not a mere skirmish or border dispute. It was a calculated uprising aimed at redefining galactic power structures. As battles erupted across key star systems, the Council found itself on the back foot, struggling to marshal a unified response. The Krells, exploiting their intimate knowledge of Council strategies and deployments, orchestrated a series of devastating strikes that crippled supply lines and isolated several member species. It was during this tumult that the Shadow Core emerged from the obscurity of rumor into the stark light of galactic necessity. With the Council's peacekeeping forces stretched thin and some member species calling for negotiations with the Krells, Earth saw the rebellion as a threat not just to the Council's authority, but to the stability of the galaxy at large. Commander Sarah Nguyen, leveraging the Shadow Core's extensive network of informants and their unparalleled capabilities in covert operations, initiated a series of countermaneuvers aimed at undermining the Krell mutiny. These operations ranged from sabotaging Krell warships to disseminating propaganda designed to sow discord among their ranks. The pivotal moment came when the Shadow Core learned of a secret summit where the Krell leadership planned to consolidate their gains and plot the next phase of their campaign. Realizing the opportunity to decapitate the rebellion's leadership in a single stroke, Nguyen devised a daring plan. Utilizing a combination of stealth technology and expert hacking, a small team infiltrated the summit's location, a fortified asteroid base in the Belarus system. What followed was a high-stakes game of cat and mouse as the Shadow Core operatives navigated the base's defenses, ultimately planting a series of explosive charges that, when detonated, would cripple the base and capture the Krell leadership. The operation was fraught with risk, and success hinged on precise timing and execution. As the charges were set, the team encountered unexpected resistance, leading to a firefight that threatened to unravel the entire mission. Despite the odds, the operatives managed to escape, detonating the charges and causing chaos among the Krell ranks. The aftermath of the explosion was broadcast across the galaxy, a stunning blow to the Krell mutiny that signaled the beginning of its end. The capture of their leaders, combined with the strategic disruption of their operations, forced the Krells into a defensive posture from which they could not recover. The Council, once made aware of the Shadow Core's role in quelling the rebellion, faced a moral and political quandary. Officially, Earth's involvement was a direct violation of the ban against their participation in military actions. Unofficially, the Shadow Core had saved the Council from a crisis that could have spelled its doom. The Krell mutiny's resolution brought a newfound respect for Earth and the Shadow Core within the galaxy. Yet it also underscored the fragility of the Council's authority and the complex nature of interstellar politics, where enemies could become saviors and allies could pose threats. As peace was slowly restored, and the Council worked to address the underlying issues that had fueled the Krell's grievances, Earth's position within the galactic community was irrevocably altered. The Shadow Core, once a secret weapon, was now a known entity, a symbol of Earth's commitment to a greater cause beyond its own interests. The events of the Krell mutiny served as a stark reminder that the galaxy was an ever-evolving tapestry of alliances and enmities, where the balance of power was perpetually in flux. For Earth and the Shadow Core, it was a confirmation that their role in this vast cosmos was not just as defenders of their own world, but as guardians of a fragile peace that spanned the stars. In the aftermath of the Krell mutiny, the Galactic Council found itself at a crossroads, its authority both challenged and upheld by the actions of a species it had sought to sideline. The Shadow Core's decisive role in ending the rebellion forced a re-evaluation of Earth's place within the galactic community. The tide of public and political opinion began to shift, subtly at first, then with increasing momentum. Across the galaxy, species that had once viewed humans with suspicion or indifference now regarded them with a newfound respect, and in some cases, gratitude. The Shadow Corps, in particular, became the subject of intrigue and admiration. Their ability to navigate the shadowy realms of espionage and counter-rebellion, to emerge victorious where conventional forces had faltered, was a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. This changing sentiment was not lost on the Galactic Council. The very fabric of galactic diplomacy, long woven from threads of power, prestige, and fear, was being altered. Member species, especially those on the fringes of the Council's influence, began to vocalize their support for a reassessment of Earth's ban from military involvement. They argued that the galaxy stood to benefit more from collaboration with humanity than from its exclusion. The Council's deliberations on this matter were intense and protracted. Hardliners, clinging to the old doctrines of containment and control, faced off against progressives who saw in humanity a potential ally against the unpredictable threats that lurked beyond the known galaxy. The debates were punctuated by reports of the Shadow Corps' ongoing efforts to maintain peace and security, their actions serving as a constant reminder of what was at stake. Ambassador Threxel of the Xenar Federation, who had once proposed a supervised integration of Earth's capabilities, emerged as a leading voice in the call for change. The Shadow Corps has shown us that Earth is not a threat to be contained, but a resource to be embraced, Threxel argued in a session that would become historic. Their commitment to peace, to the preservation of life across the stars, aligns with the very principles upon which this council was founded. The turning point came when a delegation of species, previously neutral, lent their support to Threxel's proposal. They shared stories of covert assistance from the Shadow Corps, of crises averted and disasters mitigated, all without expectation of reward or recognition. Faced with this groundswell of support, the Council was forced to act. In a landmark decision, it voted to amend the decree against Earth's military involvement. The new terms were carefully crafted, offering Earth a role as a peacekeeper and advisor, with strict oversight and clear guidelines to ensure transparency and accountability. This decision was not without its detractors, both within the Council and across the galaxy. Some viewed it as a dangerous concession, a sign of the Council's weakening resolve. Others, however, saw it for what it truly was: a recognition of humanity's potential to contribute positively to the galactic community. On Earth, the news of the Council's decision was met with a mix of jubilation and skepticism. For many, it was a vindication of the sacrifices made by the Shadow Corps, and a recognition of humanity's rightful place among the stars. For others, it was a cautious first step towards a future that remained uncertain. The Shadow Corps, at the heart of this historic shift, found themselves in a new role. No longer operating in the shadows, they were now emissaries of Earth's commitment to galactic peace and stability. Commander Sarah Nguyen, reflecting on the journey from isolation to acceptance, saw the decision as both an opportunity and a challenge. "We've been given a chance to redefine what it means to be human in the galaxy," she said. "Let's make sure we're up to the task." The turning tide marked the beginning of a new era for Earth and the Galactic Council. Together, they faced the daunting task of navigating the complexities of interstellar diplomacy, of balancing power with responsibility. But for the first time in a long while, there was a sense of hope, a belief that unity, forged from the fires of adversity, could lead to a brighter future for all. The decision by the Galactic Council to amend the decree against Earth's military involvement marked a pivotal moment in galactic history. The transition from isolation to integration, from shadowy operatives to recognized peacekeepers, was fraught with challenges and uncertainties. Yet, it also opened a doorway to unprecedented opportunities for humanity and the galaxy at large. Earth's reintegration into the fabric of galactic diplomacy was a meticulous process. The Galactic Council, keen to maintain the balance of power and authority, established a series of protocols and oversight mechanisms for Earth's participation. These measures were designed to ensure that Earth's contributions as peacekeepers and advisors were in alignment with the Council's objectives and policies. At the heart of this transition was the Shadow Corps, now officially acknowledged as Earth's primary interface with the Council's peacekeeping initiatives. Commander Sarah Nguyen and her team underwent a transformation, from clandestine operators to diplomats and liaisons. Their mission, however, remained fundamentally the same: to protect and to serve the cause of peace across the galaxy. The Shadow Corps' first assignment under this new mandate was to mediate a dispute in the Viridian cluster, where two species, the Tarn and the Vec, stood on the brink of war over a disputed planet. The Shadow Corps, leveraging their experience in covert operations and diplomacy, facilitated negotiations that led to a historic peace treaty, averting a conflict that could have devastated the region. This success set a precedent, demonstrating Earth's value as a mediator and peacekeeper. Other missions followed, each adding to the growing reputation of humanity as a force for good in the galaxy. The Shadow Corps, once feared and mistrusted, became a symbol of hope for many. Back on Earth, the changes were profound. The Galactic Council's decision catalyzed a renaissance in science, culture, and philosophy. Interstellar travel and trade flourished, bringing new resources, technologies, and ideas to Earth's doorstep. The planet, once on the periphery of galactic affairs, was now at the heart of a vibrant interstellar community. The integration of Earth into the galactic community also brought about a shift in the Council's dynamics. Other species, inspired by humanity's journey from isolation to integration, began to advocate for more inclusive and cooperative approaches to galactic governance. The Council, once a rigid body dominated by ancient species and old rivalries, started to evolve into a more dynamic and representative institution. As Earth and the Galactic Council navigated these changes, the galaxy watched with a mix of anticipation and hope. The amendment of the decree was not just a victory for humanity. It was a testament to the power of unity and the potential for disparate species to come together for a common cause. The story of Earth's banishment and return to the galactic stage became a legend, a tale of resilience, innovation, and diplomacy. It served as a reminder that in the vastness of the cosmos, with all its diversity and complexity, there was always room for growth, understanding, and cooperation. The new dawn was not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy. It was a time of exploration and discovery, of building bridges and healing old wounds. The Galactic Council, with Earth as a key member, looked to the future with a renewed sense of purpose, ready to face the challenges and opportunities that lay among the stars. And so, humans were never allowed to fight in galactic war again, not as warriors of destruction, but as guardians of peace, holding the delicate balance of power in their capable hands. The legacy of the Shadow Corps, and of Earth's journey from isolation to integration, would echo through the ages, a beacon of light in the vast, uncharted reaches of the galaxy.